My Fujifilm X100F is broken, but not broken enough that I can't use it anymore. In this video, I'm going to show you what the problem is, how you can deal with it, as well as if it might be possible to fix the problem. Hi, my name is Spencer. I'm a Canadian photographer living in Germany, and I make fun photography videos about stuff, lately a lot about Fujifilm. So I got this X100F back in 2020, and well, the reason I got it's actually a different story. Yeah, my X100S broke. Yeah, needless to say, it's not my first time that I've had a broken Fujifilm camera. Now the thing is, I don't know if the replacement camera I got was refurbished or if it's brand new. Maybe that has something to do with this. But yeah, anyway, let's talk about what the actual problem is. Actually, unrelated to the main problem I want to talk about, 6 months ago, the viewfinder cover actually broke. It just got loose and didn't want to move anymore. Yeah, it kind of sucks. You can see here, it doesn't really move. So I was able to bang it open so that now the optical viewfinder is what it is before, but you can't make it come up anymore. The main problem actually seems to be kind of common, and from what I've read online, they seem to all happen at the same time. So firstly, as you can see here, the autofocus is in autofocus continuous, and over on this switch, when you move it, it doesn't change the focus modes. So it means that the camera is actually stuck in autofocus continuous, which really sucks. The X100F's continuous autofocus is pretty bad, and it hunts a lot. Now, the second thing that happened, and this is actually at the same time, is that when you remove the camera battery, it resets the camera to factory settings. Yep, swap your battery and you get this screen again. You have to put in all your settings from scratch. Now, this is really annoying. Now, lastly, because the viewfinder blocker was already broken, it's hard to tell, but from what I've heard, this usually happens also with the other two problems, but the viewfinder switch won't actually move the viewfinder blocker. It used to make a sound, now there's nothing, so it's probably also happened on my camera. I just can't be 100% sure. So how am I dealing with this problem? As I said, it still does take pictures. I can still use it. There's a couple of strategies that you can use that will work so that you can actually, use this camera in this condition. Since the viewfinder doesn't close, I actually just left it open in this state because I actually prefer the optical viewfinder. You can see when things are kind of coming and leaving your frame. This is the whole appeal of the camera in the first place. So I just left it like this. When it comes to the autofocus though, it's a bit more tricky. Firstly, you have to go into the menu and make sure that your AEL/AFL button is activated and it's set to either autofocus or autofocus and auto exposure lock. You can choose between those two. Then when you push the AFL/AEL button, the autofocus will activate sort of more like single shot instead of continuous focus, and I've found this to be slightly more accurate. You can also toggle in the menu whether you want this to be a one push or sort of a push and hold. Some people might prefer that you be able to sort of lock it in place and then shoot. This is entirely up to you. But now you're probably wondering, okay, that's great, but as soon as I take out the battery, all of those settings are gone. Yeah, I know. So there is one workaround for this, which sucks if you love to use this Fujifilm leather case like I do. What you can do is you can charge the camera with a micro USB cable. Then you never have to take the battery out. It's a bit of a weird workaround and you won't be able to carry a second battery with you, but you could, for instance, charge it using a battery bank. Now, in the case that you accidentally remove your battery or it dies in the camera, you can use Fujifilm X Acquire, a software, to then both back up and restore your camera settings to DAT files on your hard drive. All you have to do is connect your camera with a micro USB cable to your computer, launch the software, and you can see that you can back up or restore the camera settings here, name them what you want. It is kind of a strange workaround, I know, but all these things put together do make this camera livable enough, at least, that we can go out and start to shoot some pictures. So what am I gonna do next? Well, I'm gonna shoot a little bit more with this camera, though it's certainly a lot more annoying to use than it used to be. The problem is I really like this camera. I've decided that I'm gonna pack it up and send it to the Fujifilm Repair Center in Germany and find out if they can fix it, and if they can, how much it's gonna cost. I don't imagine it's gonna be cheap. So make sure you subscribe and stay tuned for the next video where I'll explain if they can repair it, and if so, how much it's gonna cost. Thanks so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video.